Hello everybody and welcome back to another Pet Lines video, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a different video. Today we got top 10 starter pets. Now here's how we're going to be ranking these lovely 10 pets for the beginning of the game. First off, how easy they are to obtain. That is number one. Their stats, very important. That plays a huge role in how they play in the game. And of course how well they fit in their role as what they do. So, without further ado, let's kick off with Opee. Although Opee doesn't bring anything special to the table at first glance, but if you look past his base form and raise him up, you quickly realize that he is the perfect multi-hitter pet for the beginning of the game. As you can see, his speed keeps increasing incredibly. His speed and physical attack stats offer the average beginner quick and easy wins, while also having very easy evolutions. Number 9, Katniss. I have to admit, when I first saw Katniss, I immediately made a Hunger Games joke. But all jokes aside, Katniss, although being pretty bad in battle, has some pretty nice support for the average beginner. I was shocked when Katniss procced his support almost every turn, especially his Surge ability, which increases your special bar by 1, making your special easier to access and or possibly spam it. Number 8, Benyu, the Tiny Bird Terror. Seriously though, don't judge this tiny bird's power by its appearance, because when it evolves, good Christ, does it look badass. I mean, look at this thing. How could you not say that doesn't look badass? A Satan, Lucifer looking hawk guy? Benyu has the coolest evolution in the game. From my viewpoint, at least. Now, aside from its appearance, how does it stack up? Pretty good if it wasn't bugged. Unfortunately, his innate skill has been bugged for as long as I can remember. While his stats are great, don't get me wrong, he can definitely pack a mean punch if you manage to get a good skill from him. His innate skill being bugged is what really bothers me, and unfortunately I cannot place him any higher in the list as I would like to. Unfortunately, his innate just holds him back way too much. Panda, you Eevee ripoff! Panda is pretty much the Eevee of Pet Alliance 2. He is heavily... Is he anywhere near as good as Eevee? I wouldn't say so. Unfortunately, Panda's evolutions, while they are cool looking, they all kind of resemble some sort of Kung Fu Panda type thing, they're not exactly the best pets out there. Let's start off with Zunder. Zunder is an electric type. He has a mace for some reason, and yeah, it's about it. I mean, his magical attack is not bad, his speed's pretty good, but his stats aren't really the best. Now here's where it really goes downhill. Unfortunately, his innate doesn't change from his original skill, Slash. And as we know, Zunder is a magical attacker. So, with Zunder having magical attack and his innate being a physical attack, you can see where things start to go awry. Now let's move on to the fire. Is fire going to be any better? I don't think so, considering how he's not really any different. He's just the same pet with electric. Now instead of electric, it's fire. But somehow it manages to be even worse. Now, at the same time, you can kind of mix around, but really, it's just the same thing that holds him back. It's his innate skill. Whereas he's still a magical attacker, but his innate skill really holds him back in that factor. Where he's supposed to be doing a lot of damage, his innate skill just doesn't stack up. Now, moving on to the final evolution of Panda, we have his water form. Now, interestingly enough, his water form is actually his best form. Despite having the weakest stats of the three, he still has considerable tanking ability, and he has finally gotten the formula down correctly. His innate matches his physical attack, which is perfect, whereas he also starts off with really good skills with diving, perfect for damage dealing, and waterbound, perfect for tanking hits. So, whereas you want to use Panda, I don't recommend using Panda, but if you want to, the only one I would suggest is the water type. Flah Mandor, number 6. I really want to say that Flah Mandor is an amazing pet, but also he turns into a dragon, and he has some considerable tankiness and good physical attack attribute. That's kind of where we draw the line, because again, the same thing with Panda, his innate skill really holds him back. His innate skill, Heat, while giving him some sort of advantage with the crit buff. I can't say the same thing with Dirt Clod, where Dirt Clod can possibly give him some tankiness, really isn't necessary. What you were looking for, it's something like an innate skill. Your innate skill is kind of like your starter point, and if you don't have a good start off, you're not going to really have a good mid-game or end-game. So, while I like Fire-Drawn Flah Mandor as a pet, I can't really say he's all that impressive. Yes, he's cool, but that's kind of where we draw the line. Moving on to number 4. Oh yeah! Now here is a pet to get excited about. This little dino can really deal some damage, especially in his final form, Rachagan, where he can have a lot of bulk, and while having a lot of bulk, makes him very flexible. He can even be a magical attacker if you want. Make yourself a magical dino with Rachagan. I don't think that's a smart idea, but hey, it's up to you. It's a dino. Do what you want. Number 4, Pygon. Oh, wait. Isn't that the poster boy of the whole game? The most hyped up pet in the game? He's so hyped up, he has 2 extra forms. Avu, which is a Pikachu reject, and X-Salvaton. Alright then. So, is the poster boy of Pet Alliance any good? I don't think so. With him, he may be able to, carry you through the story part of the game. I don't think he's anywhere near as good as the game makes him out to be. Now, unfortunately, Pygon is not really your go-to pet. He has cool dragon forms, but really, he's just gonna remain the poster boy, and that's about it. Number 3. Speaking of Pikachu rejects, we have Avu, which is he can be considerably more useful than his poster boy brother. Now, Avu, he doesn't bring a lot to the table to his attacking abilities. He's not really the strongest pet. However, with his support, Battle Cry, Force, and Lock On, you could say that Avu is the best support you get relatively early on in the game. However, there is one support that just trumps him overall. Number 2, Zehra. So, remember how I was talking about Stainsaur, the dinosaur from before? Well, imagine him, but instead of being so flexible and damage dealing and deadly, imagine him being deadly in another form. Instead of having awesome stats, like a dinosaur should, he has awesome supports. Like not a dinosaur should. Or should a dinosaur have small supports? I don't know. Maybe you think of Blue from Jurassic World, but this isn't Blue, and nor is it Jurassic World. Anyways, Zehra, with his supports, observe, he can drastically increase your accuracy, making him the best support you get in the beginning of the game. Now, along with flexible and transfer, those supports proc pretty much all the time. unless you're me and you get the worst luck ever, then, yeah, you should have little to no trouble mowing down your opponents when you have this guy on your support. Number 1, here we are, finally. Now, could it really be any more obvious? Of course it's going to be Ampol. Why wouldn't it be Ampol? The most easy to obtain pet in all of the game besides, the pet he's paired up with, Katniss, which just happens to be in the same areas as him. But moving on, we're getting sidetracked. Basically, Ampol, as if it wasn't obvious enough that he's the best, he is also the best starter in all the game, with his Electrify start-off skill being relatively good and not bad, but then when you evolve him to his final form, you get Voltrace. This is where the microwave of terror comes in. This guy is absolutely spot-on perfect. With the right build and the right training, and in the hands of a good trainer, he can take down a whole team of SS pets by himself. And that'll conclude the video for you guys today. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of ranking of the pets, and I'll see you in the next video.